Let's go over to the phone lines right now. I don't know if we're going to Philadelphia. I don't know if we're going to California. I don't know if they on tour and they somewhere else in the world. But like I said, their name is The Movement. Welcome to the crossover. Hello.
Swell.
Blessed love.
How are
Scary
you?
Movement, how you feeling?
I'm feeling really, really good, and it's good to talk to you. Now, tell Jamaica, who are they talking to from The Movement?
This is Gary Dredd, the drummer of The Movement.
Okay.
Much love to the whole island of Jamaica.
All right, so it's just you with me today.
Some of the other members are coming in too right now. We're rehearsing for a California run right now.
Oh, you're rehearsing for California. Isn't that like already your stomping grounds? Like, you know.
We're actually from all over the place. Philadelphia, we got some New York, South Carolina.
Yeah.
But the vibe's nice out here in Cali all the time.
I'm trying to figure out how California have so many reggae festivals. Is it really that big where there's that many people and that high of a demand? Because it seems like every month it's a different reggae festival. Cali Vibes, Cali Roots, Reggae Revival, Reggae in the Hills, Reggae in the Mountains. What is up with Cali and reggae?
Every time we come out here, this is Josh too, the singer.
I know who that is. You ain't got to tell me.
Yeah, they love reggae out here for real. They love the Roots too. I'm from Philly, and I grew up, going to see the Roots, going to different dance halls, Lovers Rock, dub. But yeah, out in the West Coast, they love the Roots. Yeah, man. Abyssinia.
Cali Vibes was my first experience going full all in on the other side of reggae. I've been doing this for like 20 years, and I never really went head on in that direction. So that was like my first experience. Mind blown. Love everything that it was about. And I also love where I'm at. So it's time to merge the two. That's what I'm like. Why are we so separate? Needs to be unionized some way. But in the meantime, I see some of your band members coming together. So I'm going to take this moment to play my favorite song and How I Know Josh, okay? All right, hi, Josh. Play my video. Walk the walk, talk the talk. That's what I'm talking about. Don't play with me. I had this song blasting all through Port Antonio, right? And I'm like trying to tell everybody. I used this song when I came back from Cali Vibes. I actually used this song to try to explain to people what the California reggae vibe was like. Yes, there's a lot of bands out there that's doing what they saw Bob Marley do. They're trying to emulate exactly what it is. Yeah, there are some of those bands, but what struck me at Cali Vibes was the fact that some of the songs really had nothing to do with nothing I know nothing about. I literally Googled redwoods, where you find them, and I'm like, huh? I know it's a tree. I know all those things, but like for me, I'm like, are those in Jamaica? So it was more along that line, and that is what intrigued me. So like I use this song as an example to tell people, no, they take the energy of reggae and they make it relatable to what they know about. So talk to me about redwoods and also about that side of the reggae culture.
Yeah, there's
We're talking to Josh now, Bridge Nation. This is Josh. We were just talking to Gary Jackson. Right, Gary? All right, cool.
Yes,
cool.
Yes.
Hi, hon. The movement. Go ahead, Josh.
Yeah, I just assumed everybody knew what redwoods were.
No. Abby, did you know?
Yeah.
Did you know where you find redwoods, Abby? If somebody said, where you find redwoods, did you know? Jeff, did you know? Yeah, nobody knew. Yeah, no.
Wow, that's cool.
It's a California.
The other day too. Yeah, there was something else the other day too. That it was "Beg, Borrow, and Steal," a new song that we just wrote. I thought everyone knew that. That saying, like "Beg, Borrow, and Steal." I thought that was something that everybody knew, but there are people over here in the States that didn't know what that meant either. So yeah. I mean, I guess there are certain things that. When I listen to, Jamaican reggae music, a lot of times I don't know what's being talked about either. So there is definitely a culture gap and bridges that need to be crossed. And I love, when you said that things need to be unified and, maybe it doesn't need to be, but it would be really cool if they were. And Redwoods was, I think that we had written a previous song to that rhythm. That was made by T-Ray from Tribal Seeds.
Nice.
And I'd written a previous song to that, and we went and tried it in the studio, and the lyrics and melody just weren't working. So I went up and just rewrote it. And redwoods over here, they're the biggest trees. I think they're the biggest trees in the world.
Yeah.
Maybe second to a sequoia tree or something, but I think redwoods might be bigger. And I was just thinking, comparing a tree to the human race and the similarities that those two things have. So it's one of my favorites. It might be my favorite song we've ever done.
It absolutely is one of mine. But to those who still don't know what a redwood is, can you further explain how you compared that to the human race for those who aren't really familiar? I mean, we know it's big or whatever, but can you explain a little bit wider on what you mean by that?
Yeah, so they're considered to be the oldest, the strongest, the tallest, and the wisest tree. And, they go back in ancient Native American culture. Yeah. They're revered in Native American culture. And to me, it just symbolizes what we can aspire to be. And I mean, that's basically it. We're the greatest things. We're the what do I say? You just repeat it. We're the greatest things that grow up on this land.
We need to stand firm and rooted and big and strong and invincible like those redwoods.
There you go. You said it better than I could.
Yeah, what kills the redwoods would be humans, and we need to stop killing ourselves, which we're also doing. So I get what you mean.
That's true.
I wanted to make sure they understood. I want to go back to my drummer, because drums are super important in reggae music, Gary. So how do you make sure you keep that reggae blend, but at the same time keep the authenticity of the sound that you gentlemen have, which is like a lot of like rocky, poppy, a little bit of everything in one?
So my father was a jazz musician, and I also have family from St. Thomas and Mobay too.
What? St. Thomas.
As a youth, I would study Sly and Robbie, all the greats, Burning Spear, Culture. I'm a vinyl collector too.
Nice.
So everything out of King Tubby's too, the Duke Reed times, the Treasure Isle, Trojan. So I would study all the Rebel salutes, all the stings, champions in action, everything,
Yeah.
I would study Sly a lot and just, listening to, Carlton Barrett too. Yeah. Some of the greats. Rough Cut Band too. I love, what I mean? Everybody.
That's family right there. Legendary.
Yeah, so that's how I would study and learn mix. I grew up playing for a bunch of reggae artists before I was with the movement too, so they taught me as a drummer, always be in the present. What I mean? If you're gonna scream for a one drop, a rhythm, a dropout, it's important to be dynamic. And so when I say I studied. No,
I can see it in your face, and I can hear it in the way you talk about it. It's not just a joke thing for you. This is something way deeper than that. And one of the things that we like to know and teach our listeners is that life is a circle.
Yes. Bless Empress. Yes.
It's the movement on the bridge, 99. Let's check out this track. It's called Life is a Circle. Now, see, I've been playing my favorites and completely ignoring the fact that, my producer says there's a new album with new tracks. So before we get to the top of the hour, let's get into some of that. You mentioned Beg, Borrow, and Steal as one of the new tracks. I have that one right now to play, but tell me a little bit more about what that's. I mean, it's kind of sounds self-explanatory, but you said there were some people that didn't get the meaning?
Yeah, that was a tune that was originally written by our keyboardist, Matt Goodwin. I think that was probably the first rhythm he wrote for this record. And he had written a couple lyrics. It was just, I think it was originally about his girlfriend and just really about love. It's a love tune.
Oh.
And beg, borrow, and steal means I'll do just anything. I'll beg for you, I'll borrow, or I would steal for you. It means,
that's the kind of energy I'm talking about. Yup, Abby. Yeah. See, that's the energy I'm talking about. Where that energy at? I will beg, borrow, and steal for you, boo. I'm waiting to hear that. Let's go.
your energy.
That's right, they go by the name of The Movement. From California, from Philadelphia, from New York. A little bit from everywhere, and I guess that's why they're called The Movement. That's a name after my own heart, by the way. I feel like a nomad. I've been a nomad living in a non-nomadic life. You know what I'm saying? I'm changing that soon, though. I'm changing that. So hopefully I meet you guys on the road somewhere crazy and have more jam sessions.
So.
Yeah,
Well,
absolutely.
hopefully we see you in JA, you know?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Come on now. We're bringing that vibe here. Like, we're bringing it here. Me, my team, Itopia, we've made a formative decision that, yeah, it's time for these bands to start coming here. I mean, I get the philosophy of why a lot of the bands from California and other places don't really get the chance to play in Jamaica, because if any promoter calls you and talk about booking fee, they're going to be like, because, I mean, hey, are you being played in Jamaica? And they're going to have that mindset. But there's a way bigger picture. And that's why I'm here on the bridge, bridging the gap.
Much respect.
Absolutely. It's very important, I think. But we got The Movement on the line. Talk to me before we go, because I do this segment because I want people who are listening to remember how important bands are. A lot of times we get caught up in celebrity life, so people just want to get into music, but they forget there's so many places in music, and band culture is something that is super important, well, at least in my mind. But I would like to hear from your minds.
I'll take the wheel right off the bat.
Yeah.
I mean, we've all been family for years. Even the bass player and I, we've been playing since we were like 12 years old, you know, so solid close to 30 years now.
Yeah.
So music is sacred to us. It's like a temple. Everything that we try to blend, a little bit of reggae, a little bit of rock, hip hop, whatever it may be, we make sure it's authentic. And, you know, really, it's you're traveling the whole country and the world, and you got to look out for each other. You got to be there for each other. You got to be solid as a rock, humble, grateful. Yeah. Could go on and on, you know, but it's been a long road, and we're grateful for everything that's happened and for what's going to happen. So,
and a lot's definitely going to happen, because I feel like the band culture it hasn't gone anywhere, but I feel like there's this weird new energy towards it that I also feel, unless I'm just feeling it and making it happen. I don't know. But Josh, I got to talk to you too, because one thing I noticed when we talk about the bands that are not from Jamaica, and let's be quite honest, bands who are more white bands, you guys have this handle where you go on tour. A lot of you have this handle where you go on tour, you have your merch, you might even get a little beat up bus. How important, because I don't think a lot of people even understand that mindset on this side of the world, the beginning of the band life, you know, the beat up traveling, the merch. Why is that so important on that side?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of an idea in this day and age that success comes really quick. And I think it actually does come really quick for a lot of successful people. You know, there's an artist I was looking at yesterday who was, you know, maybe on YouTube or something like that. And I checked him out on Spotify, and he had something like, you know, 200 million followers on Spotify. And his first record just came out last year. Yeah. And this is kind of the day and age where you put out a video, it goes viral, and all of a sudden you're successful. For us, you know, we grew up in the 80s and early 90s, and that was the thing that you do. You start a band and you travel the country and you hustle and you spread by, you know, grassroots and word of mouth. Yeah. And that's the only way we knew how to do it. And we didn't think necessarily anything would really ever come of it. And that wasn't really the point. Success was never the goal. Yeah. And money was never the goal. Fame was never the goal. Yeah. And it was just something that we hoped might possibly happen. But the idea was that we would get to travel around and see different places and play music that we love and meet people and be together.
And pay for it through selling your T-shirts and stuff.
Exactly. Make no money and just try to, you know, live that lifestyle. And that's really what was appealing to us, is that lifestyle and being able to spread our message and positivity through music. And I would say that, you know, a lot of kids these days might get discouraged, you know, if they're not making it in the first, you know, year, 2 years, even 5 years. I think there's a lot of people that might give up. So, my message would be to anybody who's thinking about being in the music business, to keep hustling and,
never give up.
Never give up. And for people like us, we didn't really even see any real success until recently. So we've been doing it for 20 years.
Look at that.
You got to be solid as a rock. They just can't stop you
right.
now.
But see, here's the thing. Here's the thing. And I want to make this clear with what Josh just said. There's a lot of people who might bust within a year. You might see them bust and you might get jealous and envious. But a lot of things, when you get bust in a year, do not come as easy in the long term. So you could bust today and bust and get 1 million because somebody's doing a TikTok dance or somebody made something funny on Instagram. So now your Spotify numbers are shooting up. But what's going to happen 3 years from now? What's going to happen when you never learn the grind to the business, the other elements to the business? It's like a quick rise with a quick fall, So, you guys only see the few who got through. There's so many more who don't go any further than the one song. You know what I mean?
Right.
Longevity is key.
Yeah. And now people can go back to Spotify and check back the 20 years of other music you put out. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Got to make stuff timeless. That's why Bob Marley's music will live on forever,
And ever.
Timeless music.
And
Dennis
ever.
Brown.
Yes. And you just said Sizzler song too, so clearly Sizzler. We can throw
Kalonji, Capleton, everybody.
Barris, you got to put Barris in there. Don't put Barris. Got to be in there. Buju got to be in there too.
Buju.
You know what I'm saying?
Coco T. We could go on and on.
We could, but I'm already past the top of the hour, and before my producer cuss me and my engineer because I'm gonna be late because I still gonna play the song, we gotta say bye. So give everybody your social media, where they can find you and where they can follow the movement.
Yeah, themovementvibe.com is the website. And just check out The Movement Vibe on everything.
All right, make sure you check them out. Always with me. Good music is always with me. But this is the name of the song. Always with me, The Movement. And we out.
Pick up the bridge.